I've got a lot to say on graduates because I'm going to give some really heartfelt advice, because I don't think, firstly, that universities prepare people, prepare students and graduates for what the reality of life is like once they leave university. So, you know, you've chosen to go to university like many people do, and I think it's worth noting that more people are going to university than ever before. I will put a caveat that there was a news report out the other day to say applications are dipping. However, on the whole, more people are going to university than ever before. And years ago, as a graduate, if you was a graduate, and we go back 10 years ago, that in itself is impressive and an achievement. Now as a graduate, when you leave your university, yes, it shows commitment, it shows dedication, it shows hard work, and there is a lot of merit in the university that you've been to, the law degree, the law school that you've been to, and the grade that you've got. But it's worth noting that lots of other graduates are in the same place that you are, with the same degree that you've got, all competing for a finite amount of roles. And there is way more graduates than there are jobs, which means that competition is stiff. Now, in my experience, and I've done a lot of talks at universities over the years, I don't think that a lot of graduates really realise what the reality of the actual world is like upon leaving university. And I see this every single day from the sheer amount of CVs that we get. And a lot of graduates get to their final year, and a few months before their final year, they come onto the job market with a sense of optimism. I've just finished my degree. I'm about to go out and get a training contract. I'm about to become a paralegal. I've got my CV ready. I'm about to come onto the job market. And then they get hit with a harsh reality that actually they're not hearing back from hiring managers. They're not hearing back from jobs, and they can't understand what's going on. Now, the key to being a graduate, first of all, is you've got to prepare. And that doesn't mean preparing in your final year. It means preparing as soon as you start the degree. You've got to start preparing, because if you get to a place where you graduate and on your CV, the only thing that you've got is a job back at McDonald's 5 years ago, a couple of Saturday jobs and a law degree, then unfortunately, you are going to be on a very level playing field with a lot of other people. So what I'm going to talk about in this video today is how to get ahead as a law graduate. How to make sure that you position yourself in the best possible way and give yourself the best odds of success to secure the role that you want. Now, if you don't know who I am, I'm Jason Connolly, CEO, JMC Legal Recruitment. I've built up JMC to become one of the biggest, and not just the biggest, one of the most well-known for quality legal recruitment agencies. So I've got a lot of credentials to talk on this subject, first of all, and I'm going to try and help as much as I can. So what I would advise that you do, first of all, when you're selecting your degree, is you need to, first of all, create a LinkedIn profile. Now, LinkedIn is a very important platform, and we're moving much more as a society, as a nation, as a country, in a direction that personal brand is very important. So you need to get onto that platform and start creating a personal brand from day one. Now, I've seen a lot over the years of very good graduates who have created a brand of documenting their journey, their experiences, which ultimately showcases their passion for the subject of law. And by creating that brand over a period of time, when they get to the point of them making applications, they've got something of substance that kind of shows their journey. So not everyone is going to want to embrace social media and absolutely lay out their journey online. So I appreciate that. But as a minimum, you do need to start thinking about your brand. Are you connected? Who are you connected with? The old saying goes, people who know people. And it very much, it's, who you know, not what you know. And that does ring very true in law. You need to, as a graduate, if you are aspiring to get the role that you want, you need to start planning your career from the moment you do the degree. Now, what I advise all people to do, and I tell this to a lot of very experienced lawyers, partners and whatnot, is they need to look at their career as a 5-year plan. Now, to look 5 years into the future is a scary prospect for a lot of people. I know myself at times, I don't even know what I'm doing in 6 months' time, let alone 5 years. But the reason I say that is, let's say that your plan is to get a training contract and become a qualified solicitor. Well, actually, from the moment you start your 3-year law degree, that is a 5-year plan. That's where you want to be. So if you've got no plan in order to get there, you really are driving a car without a steering wheel. You really are. So you need to think about, let's take, for example, you want to work at a certain firm in London, a certain calibre of firm, let's say a regional heavyweight firm, and you want to get a training contract there. You want to then almost reverse engineer, this is where I want to be. Okay, how do I need to get to that point? Okay, so the first thing I would need to do is I would need to get the training contract. Okay, how can I put myself in the best position to get the training contract? Because training contracts are like gold dust. There is only a few of them at every firm every year. Normally, the training contracts at big firms are recruited for 2-3 years in advance. So that means if you're waiting to your final year to start thinking about this, actually the firms have recruited that 2-3 years ago. So you've got to think ahead. So you need to position yourself in the best position to make your experience stand out. Your CV needs to sell you. What experience have you got? How have you gone above and beyond to position yourself above that of other people who are also doing the same law degrees? So some examples could be, as part of your 5-year plan, you might start thinking, right, I'm going to do summer internships. Now, you might think that to volunteer at a law firm in the summer, a law firm would bite your hand off for that. No, it doesn't work like that in legal. A lot of the time, internships are recruited for like training contracts. You need to apply for them. Because lots of people are competing for them. Why are lots of people competing to work for free? You might think to yourself, because the value of them is huge. Because as a graduate, other than the law degree, and the law degree is academic, a law degree is very different to that of practicing law every single day. Yes, it teaches you the law and the mechanics, but it doesn't necessarily teach you how to practice it. So you need to what's going to really give you that experience is, yes, you've got the law degree, which is for all intensive purposes, that's just your eligibility ticket to get into the law firm, but you need to show experience in a law firm. Now, where are you going to get that from if you're doing the law degree every day? Well, you need to put your summers to good use. And yes, it might seem appealing to go and spend the whole summer travelling around Europe, backpacking, and whilst I appreciate that is a thing that you might want to do, you need to think about where you want to be. We're in a world now that, as a graduate, the majority of people take out a massive loan and make a massive investment in their future financially. You need to make that same investment in your future in what you're doing with yourself in your spare time. And by reverse engineering this and thinking, right, that's where I want to be, that's what I need to do to get there, that's what I want to do, it will create for you a plan. And it will create for you a roadmap. So when you're making decisions, when you're making applications, when deciding what to do with your time, you're making sure that the decisions that you're making are going along the path that's leading to where you want to be. Now, I'm not going to say that things always stick to plan. They don't. Things can go off down different directions. You might find that you might get some bad luck along the way. We all do. But what's important is, yes, once you've got a plan, you can adapt the plan. You can look at it, and it's the sort of thing where you don't want to do the plan and then that's it, it's saved on your computer and you don't look at it again. It should be a live document that you are looking at regularly, you're going back to.